Here's that montage of some of the questions. Watch this.
Appear on stage with President Trump on November 4th, my birthday,
yes.
in Pittsburgh, and say, President Trump gets it, the reasons you're voting, and list the reasons you're voting for him, a lot to do with masculinity, which I want to ask you about later. And I wonder how you think about that in terms of, does it compromise you as a journalist? Do you benefit from this environment in which people are losing trust in everyone else and turning to you? I think your audience probably, I would guess, mostly voted for Trump, but I know lots of people who watch you and didn't. Do you worry that they can't trust you, that as you cover him going forward, that they'll kind of think you're in the tank? But ultimately, you depend for information on the people that you're criticizing, don't you? Do you ever feel like it would be better if you had a producer occasionally, like in the old days, being like, Megyn, maybe that's too much? I was talking to another broadcaster the other night, and she said, one thing Megyn does that is most of us don't do is go after other people in media really personally. Like there's sort of a gentleman's agreement in a lot of media to not attack each other personally. You had a very heated riff on, I'm forgetting her name, but the mother of Elon Musk's latest child. The bulk of YouTube is always going to be, here is like an incredible monologue that went viral. Do you feel like you've been shaped by the medium, that you've been pushed into these sort of like more heated monologues, these kind of, these maybe more confrontative, I don't know, that there's something about that kind of monologue that's about trying to go viral?
By the way, what I said about Elon's partner and the baby would have been nothing, but she decided to go public and then to play the victim. And my point was simply...
You went after her.
I personally felt that was a really grossly unfair characterization in those questions. And those are the questions he asked. I think there were two others that weren't about, my particular show. That I just thought it was very slanted against what we do here. And he obviously, I think, has an upturned nose when it comes to digital media in general. And I'll give you one other, just to kick it off, Emily. And that is, you heard him say there that you spoke for President Trump the night before the election, and you were very focused on masculinity. Like that's why you were voting for Donald Trump, masculinity, which is also totally false and not what I said at that rally. What I said was, he's under fire right now for having said he will protect women. And I believe he will protect women. And I welcome that, both on behalf of myself, my daughter, and other people's daughters, because I think he'll close the border and we won't have more Laken Rileys. And I think he'll close women's sports to men and boys. And we won't have more Peyton McNabbs, the girl who got hurt in North Carolina thanks to the spiked volleyball in her face. That's what I said. And I also spoke of the forgotten boys in this country and what's been done to them as we've demonized boys over the past 10 years. It wasn't about fucking masculinity, but that's what a leftist hears when you say that kind of stuff about President Trump.